एक जीवन के बहुत
We
महत्व
begin
रखने
with a
वाले
very
टॉपिक से
important subject for our
हम
lives.
शुरुआत करेंगे. मैं
I
उसको
call
धर्म
it
कहता हूँ.
Dharma.
अच्छा, क्या है कि ये
Now, in this
जो
subject of Dharma,
विषय है धर्म का, ये अलग अलग लोग
everyone has
अपनी अपनी
their own
अंडरस्टैंडिंग से
understanding.
अलग अलग एंगल से उसको समझ ही रहे हैं जीवन में. लेकिन
But
कभी-कभी
when a
कोई
word is
बहुत
being used
रेगुलरली
very
यूज
often,
होने वाला
it is
शब्द हो
better if everyone
तो
understands
उसका
the exact meaning of such a word.
यथार्थ मीनिंग जो है वो सब लोग एक साथ में समझ लें. उसके लिए मैं
And for the
उसका
same
मेरे
purpose,
मन में जो मीनिंग
I
है
will start with the meaning
वहां से
I
शुरू करता हूं.
understand about Dharma.
अच्छा, जैसे हर जीव का एक एक
If we
सोल
observe
का
life of each
इंडिविजुअल लाइफ
individual
देखें,
soul,
व्यक्तिगत जीवन देखें, तो
it is
वो कलेक्टिव
influenced by the
कॉन्शियसनेस से
collective
इन्फ्लुएंस्ड
consciousness.
है. मैं जिसको कहता हूं कि सपोज
Moment to moment, as life goes on,
जा रहा है, तो
there are
उसमें
two
हर
areas
व्यक्ति
of
के
life
जीवन के दो
of each
क्षेत्र
individual,
हैं,
the outer
बाहर
world
और
and
अंदर.
the inner world.
उसमें व्यक्तिगत
Now, the
कॉन्शियसनेस को,
individual
इंडिविजुअल
consciousness
कॉन्शियसनेस को
is
बाहर की
continuously
दुनिया का बड़ा
influenced by the
इन्फ्लुएंस होता
outer
रहता
world.
है.
If
बाहर
you
की दुनिया
observe the
को
outer
देखें तो
world,
व्यक्ति,
it is made
वस्तु
up of
और
people,
परिस्थिति
things,
से
and
बाहर की दुनिया
situations.
बनी है. लेकिन उस
But in
बाहर की
spite of the
दुनिया के
influence of the
प्रभाव
outer
के
world,
बावजूद
the
हर
individual
व्यक्ति का
life of
इंडिविजुअल लाइफ जो
every
है
person is
वो
experienced
उनके
within
अंदर
their
घट
own
रहा है
self,
हर मोमेंट.
every moment. It is
इन्फ्लुएंस्ड है
definitely
बाहर की दुनिया
influenced by
से,
the outer
व्यक्तियों
world
से,
of people,
वस्तुओं से,
things, and
परिस्थितियों से.
situations. But
लेकिन
where is each
हर
soul's
व्यक्ति का, हर
individual
जीव का
experience of life
इंडिविजुअल
taking
जीवन
place?
कहाँ,
It
तो
is
मैं
taking place
कहूँगा
inside
उनके
them.
अंदर घट रहा है हर क्षण.
Every soul's life
व्यक्तिगत
occurs
चेतना में
within its
जीवन
individual
पनपता है
consciousness.
हर जीव का. और
If you observe the life of each and every soul,
लाखों जन्मों
after
का
spending
जीवन
millions
व्यतीत
of
करते
lifetimes
करते
in
कभी
different
शरीर लिया,
bodies,
कभी छोड़ा, अलग अलग
after
योनियां
taking
बदलते
and
बदलते
dropping
आज
different
इन
bodies,
शरीरों के
today
साथ
this
हमें
soul
नसीब
is
होता
sitting
है.
here.
उसमें
And
जैसे ये
even
शरीर
after
छोड़ने के बाद
this
भी वो
body is
अनंत
dropped,
यात्रा चालू रहने
the
वाली है.
eternal journey is going to continue.
उसमें हर जीव का अपने अपने जीवन में एक फैंटास्टिकली पावरफुल
In
रोल
which
होता है.
each soul has a fantastically powerful role to play in its own life.
अच्छा, मैं इसको इस तरह से कहता हूं कि भाई
I am saying, of course, you
व्यक्तियों
are
का असर
affected
तुम
by the
पर,
people, things, and
वस्तुओं का
situations
असर,
of the outer
परिस्थितियों
world.
का असर,
But in
लेकिन
the same
उसी व्यक्ति के
situation,
साथ
with the
उसी
same
तरह
people,
की
in front
परिस्थिति
of the
में,
same
उसी
things,
वस्तु के
each and
सामने
every person
हर एक का
has
अनुभव
very
एकदम
different
अलग अलग है.
experiences.
तो
So the outer
बाहर की
world
दुनिया का
definitely
इन्फ्लुएंस
has
है
an
जरूर,
influence,
लेकिन हर जीव का
but every soul has its
अपना
own
एक
contribution in
भी
it.
है. मैं
So
जब
when I
कहता
say
हूं धर्म,
Dharma,
तो
I am
उसमें मैं
adding
इस
this
एक
ingredient.
इंग्रेडिएंट को ऐड
Dharma
करता हूं
is
कि
being
उसमें
able to
तुम
recognize
अपना
your
रोल
role in your
पहचान
own
पाओ.
life.
जैसे
Just
मैं
like
कह
I
रहा हूं
say, the
बाहर की
outer
दुनिया
world
व्यक्ति,
consists
वस्तु,
of people,
परिस्थितियां,
things, and
वैसे
situations.
अंदर
The
की
inner
दुनिया
world
को हम
has
सात
7
क्षेत्र
areas
कहते हैं ना,
called the 7
7
levels of
लेवल्स ऑफ
existence.
एग्जिस्टेंस कहते हैं.
The
सबसे
grossest
स्थूल
is the
शरीर,
body, then
दूसरा
second is the
श्वास
breath by
जिसके
which the
द्वारा
body is
शरीर चलता
functioning.
है.
If the
श्वास
breath
टूटे तो
stops,
शरीर
the
खत्म.
body gets dropped. The third is the mind. The fourth is the intellect. The fifth is memory. The sixth is ego. And the seventh is the soul, which experiences life through the remaining six. When I'm saying you, him or her, I'm not referring to the body. I'm referring to the souls. The souls here are the ones having this body. Now look at this dynamics. As the breath stops, the body is also dropped, but the mind, intellect, memory and ego, which are attached with the soul as the four modes of the soul's consciousness, are going to move ahead in their journey in the same state. That's why, if you would have observed, even a newborn child has its own very specific nature. Some children are very sattvic from birth and are celebrative and joyful. They cry very rarely and perhaps only if there is a big reason, or else they are mostly happy. This is because they would have lived their previous lives in the same way. Parents would know this. In the early days even, a 5 to 10-day-old child also sometimes smiles, even in sleep, perhaps while remembering something from its past. What I'm saying is, in this journey of life, each soul has different roles to play in this lifetime. Someone has a mother's role, someone has a father's role, someone plays the role of a businessman, someone has a role of an architect, someone has the role of an art of living teacher. But till when do all these exist? Till this body is there. As soon as the breath stops, the body is dropped and all these roles will also be over. But the impressions gathered in the inner world of mind, intellect, memory and ego, the impressions gathered due to the influence of the outer world of people, things and situations, which can be called sanskaras or karma, or effects of situations, these accumulated impressions are going to continue ahead in the same way. Having known this, I come to this point. What is your dharma? Then I say, your dharma is to cultivate and maintain your inner happiness, purity and positivity in spite of the changing circumstances of the outer world of people, things and situations. If you understand this subject in a deeper way, you will observe the outer world has an effect on your inner world. I will explain it in this way. Say some person keeps repeatedly triggering the flavor of love within you. Some other situations, like being at your work, you may be facing different situations. They may be triggering some other flavors in you. So different people, different things, different situations have different effects upon you. But as soon as the doors of the 5 senses are shut, then your life is within you. Also, where is your experience of these people, things and situations taking place? You will observe it is taking place within you. Also, the moment in which pleasant flavors are invoked in the inner world, then people, things and situations of the outer world do not really matter much. For that moment, life is very beautiful because there is joy and pleasantness within. In spite of having the most beautiful people, very pleasant situations and luxurious things in the outer world, and in moments when there are negative flavors such as anger, worries, blames or dejections in your inner world, the quality of that moment still is influenced by your negative emotions. Because the deeper truth is that the flavors of your inner world determine the quality of life in that moment. habits start getting formed of those flavors which get triggered again and again, which we call tendencies or vrittis. And the same tendencies or vrittis keep getting triggered through different situations, and even the people you encounter will keep triggering these tendencies within you. So people, things and situations merely act as triggers, act as instruments. Your experience is determined by your tendencies, vrittis. For example, we feel that I got angry because of somebody's bad actions. I would say that the person's actions or behavior have just triggered the tendency, vritti of anger that is already formed within you. Your experience is because of your tendency. I am not labeling it as wrong or right. But suppose the same behavior is being observed by 10 people, then while seeing the same behavior, different people will have different experiences due to the difference in the tendencies getting triggered in them. And how have these vrittis formed? Each person would have lived their lives differently till this moment. Based on those platforms, everyone's tendencies are different. When I say Dharma, what do I mean? By Dharma, I mean understand the working of your inner world of mind, intellect, memory and ego, where your life experience is happening. And then keep their reins, their control in your hands and create the life you want for yourself. This is Dharma. With the same understanding of Dharma, I will divide it into two steps. One is negative to neutral, and the other one, even more important, is neutral to positive. I want to explain this in a more deeper way. Let's try to understand this. You can see that in this life of millions of lifetimes, tendencies have got formed of flavors which got triggered again and again. Now, if you carefully observe these tendencies, then you will see two types of tendencies: harmful tendencies and beneficial or harmless tendencies. Understanding the negative effect of harmful tendencies on life and one after the other, get free from them, making your mind free from harmful tendencies is what I call negative to neutral step. Observe the life of every soul. The treasure of extraordinary abilities and powers given by the Creator within you are called siddhis. One such ability or siddhi is to be able to read someone's mind. Another such ability is called vak siddhi, in which whatever you pray for or speak starts to develop or happens for sure. Also, another siddhi is of intuition, being able to sense a future event in advance. The ability to expand your consciousness and experience oneness with the Brahman, the universal consciousness, is also a siddhi. To be able to experience this ultimate reality, the highest truth, the Brahman, at will, on demand, is a siddhi. I am saying, even being able to drop any negative flavors at will and bring the mind back to a happy state is a big siddhi. In a tight situation, after observing that the mind has become anxious and being able to flip the mind by invoking love and enthusiasm at will, this is also a siddhi. To live life in order to fully blossom these fantastic siddhis is the second step of Dharma, which I call neutral to positive. What I am saying is, if I synopsize the understanding of Dharma, it is said in the scriptures Yat Pinde Tat Brahmande. The consciousness which is present in these beautiful souls is also what the universal consciousness Brahman is made up of. To live life while recognizing your true divine nature is what Dharma is. Recognizing your infinite potential and to be able to live life fully is what Dharma is.
Recognizing your infinite potential and to be able to live life fully is what Dharma is.
In order to successfully play the different roles assigned to us in this lifetime, we have to put so much effort.
उन किरदारों को सफलता से जीने के लिए कितने प्रयत्न करते हैं.
In order to be a good mother or father, to be a successful businessman, or putting efforts for being financially sound, or trying to do well in hobbies, or trying to maintain your physical health, or when it comes to taking social responsibilities. In all the areas of life, we put so much effort to justify all these roles in life. I am saying, along with these, you should keep putting efforts to fully utilize this lifetime for the ultimate purpose. In this lifetime, we have a beautiful and rare opportunity of having a human body. Only human beings have the ability to experience the divinity within. No other creature has a system refined enough to be able to do this. Even if they try, it is not possible except for a human being. Only humans have been blessed by the Creator with this possibility. One gets human birth after going through millions of lives as different creatures. How will you optimally utilize this opportunity of a human birth to make your consciousness blossom in the way you want it to be? In this very lifetime, before this body drops, is what I call Dharma. I also observe a process that happens so involuntarily, almost helplessly. The souls in whom Dharma gets awakened tend to helplessly start sharing it with others.
जिनके अंदर वो
those even with a spark of wanting to recognize their true nature, those who get even a small glimpse of their own divinity, helplessly keep working so that others may also receive it. My dears, this is another level of dharma.
लेवल वो भी है ही my dears.
Along with continuously working for your own full blossoming, dharma also means becoming a beautiful instrument for the full blossoming of others.
और प्रकृति का, इस सृष्टि का,
and it is the nature of consciousness itself
कि तुम्हें अगर कुछ मिला है तो तुम्हें
that if you receive something, you want to share it with others.
मैं
Synopsizing dharma,
तो मैं कहता हूं
it is optimally utilizing this extremely valuable opportunity of having a human body for one's own blossoming, for experiencing divinity, and also for being an instrument for others' blossoming, so that they also experience their own divinity within.
उनके अंदर की भगवत्ता के अनुभव उनको भी मिल जाएं, उसके लिए भी। मैं इसको धर्म कहता हूं।
For those who are interested in this way of life,
इच्छा जगी हो, उनके लिए एक अनुशासनों का सपोर्ट स्ट्रक्चर भी मैं यहाँ
I want to offer a support structure of disciplines.
आप देखें, जीवन के किसी
See, if you want to carry out any activity of life
और ज़्यादा efficient level पर,
at a more efficient and effective level,
संपन्न करना हो,
then there are certain do's and don'ts to be followed.
थोड़ा सा उन अनुशासनों को संभाल लिया जाए,
If these disciplines are observed, then you can block the leakage points of your energy and also of your attention. And the same activity can be experienced at a higher level.
हायर लेवल पर अनुभव किया जा सकता है। Am I correct? तो आज
So from today, we will start a set of a few disciplines. The first discipline.
मैं कहता हूँ,
I am saying keep your student cap on.
देखिए, जीवन में हम अलग-अलग रोल निभाते
See, we play different roles in life.
प्ले करते रहते हैं। जब हम इस धर्म को समझने
And now that we are beginning to understand Dharma, the first requirement has to be that we remove all the other caps of all the other roles and sit here by being a sincere student of life. So I recommend that you remove the caps of all other roles and let's wear the student cap and be ready to be a sincere student.
अच्छा,
There is a fantastic formula for students. It is a very useful and a valuable equation. The formula is Shravan, open-hearted listening, Manan, contemplation, and Nididhyas, committing to practice. What is Shravan? It means listening to something in an open-hearted manner, grasping it, absorbing it like a sponge. I will say that if you observe carefully, every person, thing or situation, any aspect of life is like a multifaceted diamond. From different angles, the same thing or situation appears to be very different. See, let's talk about money. For someone, money is a means to indulge in sensory pleasures. But for someone else, the same money is a blessing to be used for sadhana, spiritual practices, satsang, company of the truth, and seva for service. Someone might want to donate the same money to make an ashram or a spiritual center, and for someone else, it might be a means to ensure that my children should not face the hardships that I faced in life, and hence I want to earn money. The same person, thing, or situation, when viewed from different angles, they appear to be absolutely different. And no single angle is necessarily wrong. But I am saying it is also not necessarily complete. That is why it is important to listen with an open mind while being non-judgmental and look at the same thing from different angles. I call this open-hearted listening, Shravan. Whatever you experienced in life so far need not be the complete truth. I am not calling it wrong. But since right now it is being described from a different angle, do not deny it immediately. So if you look at the truths of life, on one hand, they appear to be like a diamond, but on the other hand, they are also like an onion. As layer after layer is revealed, it appears to be very different. Are you listening? Let's again take the example of money. If I ask you, how many want to earn money? Then many will raise hands. But if I ask, why do you want to earn money? As another layer opens up, the truth for everyone is going to be very different. And if you open up another layer to explore, how did they attach that purpose to earning money? Then it will be seen that something perhaps happened in the past and hence the desire arose and so they want to earn money. So what I am saying is, just as when we talk about money, from different angles it appears to be different, same way as you open up layer after layer of any aspect or facet, the truth of each layer also appears to be very different.
So everything in the existence,
truth is like a diamond and also like an onion. It has multiple layers.
डायमंड जैसा भी है सत्य और ऑनियन जैसा भी है, उसकी परतें हैं.
For example, say you see someone behaving with a lot of anger.
बहुत आक्रोश वाला बिहेवियर आप देख रहे हो.
Now, if you open up a layer of truth and ask, how did this person become like this? The truth which Gurudev says will be revealed, that every criminal has a victim inside them crying for help. If someone has become so aggressive that they committed a crime, when you observe their life, then it will be revealed that something has happened in the past which has made their mind so aggressive. They would have experienced something very stressful and intense due to which they are like this. That's why I am saying You should be ready to open-mindedly look at anybody's behavior or a person or situation. See it from different angles and to explore the deeper layers of truth. Being able to do this is what I call Shravan or open-hearted listening. A major advantage of being a student is you can say that I have not understood this so far, but it is possible there could be some truth. This is a very big benefit of being non-judgmental. So the first step in the student formula is Shravan, open-hearted listening. Then the second step is Manan, contemplation, understanding, contemplating over whatever you are listening to in the context of your own life.
उसको भी समझ लेना ये मनन है.
And recognizing how it is relevant to your own life. This is what I call Manan.
Manana through vichar, through chintan.
And the third and the most important step is Nididhyas. It includes taking up commitments to practice whatever you heard and contemplated upon in order to make it an integral part of your life and to make it a wealth of your life. Integral part of your life and to make it a wealth of your life.
Commitment करना पड़ता है. It's a part of nididhyas. Till it becomes a part of your life. आपके जीवन का धन बने, निधि बने, nididhyas.
Nididhyas means putting efforts after committing to practice till it becomes the wealth of your life. For example, so many people already know that sadhana is extremely beneficial for our life. But even after understanding this and recognizing its importance in one's life, if one does not commit to that fantastic activity, then there is no guarantee that one's life would benefit from this wealth of sadhana.
Activity का, साधना जैसी fantastic धन का आपके जीवन में कोई अनुभव मिलेगा कि नहीं, उसका कोई गारंटी नहीं.
That guarantee can only be there once we commit to practice it. Some other time, we will talk about the importance of commitment. What is commitment and how important it is? Explaining it in short, I will say, in this ever-changing world, in this ever-changing game of life, people, things and situations are changing, and the flavors of your inner world, of mind, intellect, memory and ego are also changing on a continuous basis. Outer world is ever changing and so is the inner world. The outer world affects the inner world and the inner world also affects the outer world. Continuous change is going on. In this continuously changing flow of life, holding on to a thought, to an idea is what commitment is. Whether you remember the importance of sadhana every moment or not, whether you get a conducive atmosphere for sadhana or not, as we have resolved to do it, as we have taken up a commitment, whether we feel like it or not, whether we find support for it or not, come what may, we will not miss our sadhana. How is this commitment possible? Once we have committed to do something, and when we don't entertain anti-thoughts, vikalpas in our mind, the intention becomes firm, and this is called commitment. We will not have breakfast before our sadhana is done. Matter finished. This is commitment. There is a movie dialogue that goes, "Once I commit, I don't even listen to myself." This is the importance of commitment. I don't remember the name of the movie. But what I'm saying is,
अपनी बुद्धि जो रेगुलर बेसिस पे चयन कर रही है,
it is the function of the intellect to choose from the available options. When the intellect commits to choose a particular option from the available options for a long period of time, that is what a commitment is. The selection of that particular option is long standing, irrespective of conducive or non conducive situations or preferences and dislikes. But once we have resolved to do it, we will do it. This type of intellect is called निश्चयात्मिका बुद्धि.
जो श्रवण के द्वारा समझी हुई चीजों को और मनन के द्वारा
an intellect that is eager to make commitments.
श्रवण के द्वारा सुनी हुई और मनन के द्वारा समझी हुई चीजों को
Such an intellect is eager to commit to practice on a regular basis in life the wisdom it listened to and contemplated upon. And such an intellect is cited as a qualification for attaining the highest, the Brahman. In order to progress further from your current state of evolution, if the mind is not committed, then that person would be thrown off track just like a dry leaf in the wind. Sometimes he would be thrown one way with the wind and sometimes the other way. Are you listening to me? Such a person lives a directionless life, dependent on external situations and having no control over the state of their own mind. This is the importance of commitment. In the list of disciplines, I am offering the first discipline. Let's commit to be sincere students. If you remain a student, then different situations, different people, even children will end up teaching you something. If the student cap is not on, then even the wisest of saints won't be able to teach you anything. In the process of learning, the importance of the student is much more than that of the teacher. Are you listening? See, if in a class there are more than 50 children, the teacher teaches the same thing to all children. In the same class, all 50 are studying the same thing, but one student gets 95% marks and stands first, while another one is not able to pass and get even 35% marks. The game of life is also like that. Are you listening? That is why I am saying it is important to be a student. The first discipline is to keep the student cap on. I am explaining this in detail so that it becomes ingrained and you commit to it. The second discipline. This is related to the amazing ability nature has given to your mind.
This is not a normal thing, my sweetie pie. Immediately बंद करो उसको और ये बार-बार नहीं बोलना पड़े मुझे. मैं कहता हूँ
Keep enthusiasm invoked in your consciousness.
तुम अपने मन
You
में
can
जब
invoke
जो भाव
any flavor
जगाना
in your
चाहो
mind
जगा
at
सकते
will.
हो। ये ताकत हर
This
एक के अंदर
ability
है
is
innately।
naturally there within everyone.
अभी
Invoke
उत्साह जगाओ
enthusiasm
तो अभी
right
जगेगा।
now, and it will happen now.
अच्छा,
And
उत्साह के
along with
साथ में मैं कहता
enthusiasm,
हूँ कॉम्बिनेशन करो।
let's have a
उत्साह भी
combination.
जगाओ
Add a pinch
और
of
प्रेम
love,
का तड़का भी डालो।
and
देखो
then
कैसी
see how
समृद्ध
serene
चेतना हो
and
जाती
how
है,
sweet
कैसी
your
मधुर हो
consciousness
जाती है,
becomes.
कैसी सुंदर बनने लगती
Consciousness
है
becomes so beautiful.
चेतना। जैसे ही प्रेम
As soon
जगता
as
है,
love is invoked,
देखो कैसी
everything
सुंदर होने
becomes
लगता है।
so beautiful.
मैं कहता हूँ इस सिद्धि का जो हर एक के अंदर
This ability,
abundantly
which is
available है,
abundantly available within everyone,
इस्तेमाल करने
needs
के
to
लिए
be
थोड़ा सा
practiced,
प्रैक्टिस चाहिए और
and
उस प्रैक्टिस
hence
के लिए
a
अनुशासन
discipline is required.
चाहिए। दूसरा
The
अनुशासन
second
crystal
discipline is
clear,
crystal clear.
उत्साह
Keep
जगा के
enthusiasm
रखना,
alive with a pinch
प्रेम का
of
तड़का
love.
डालते रहना। फिर तीसरा अनुशासन,
I recommend the
उत्साह और प्रेम
flavor
मैं
of
इसलिए कहता
enthusiasm
हूँ,
as it
जैसे ही तुम
enhances
उत्साह
the
जगाते हो
quality
ना,
of
तुम
whatever
जो कार्य
activity
कर
you
रहे
are
होंगे
doing.
उसकी क्वालिटी बदल जाती है पूरी।
Try
करके
it for
देखिए।
yourself.
अच्छा,
You can practice
मुश्किल
keeping
हालातों में
enthusiasm
उत्साह
alive
जगा के रखना
even
सीख
in
लो। परिस्थिति
extremely difficult
प्रतिकूल है,
situations.
कोई
However
बहुत खड़ूस
uncomfortable the
व्यक्ति सामने
situation
बैठा
is,
हुआ है, उसके
even in
सामने
front of the
होते
most
होते ही
arrogant
उत्साह जगा
person,
लो, प्रेम का
learn to
तड़का
invoke
डाल लो।
enthusiasm
मैं
and
उसको इस
learn
तरह
to
से
invoke
समझाता
love.
हूँ,
I will
अगर
explain it with a
ऑस्ट्रेलिया
cricket
को तुम
analogy.
वनडे
If you
इंटरनेशनल
can
में हराना
learn to
सीख
defeat the
जाओ
Australian team in a one
तो
day
जिम्बाब्वे
international
को तो
match,
आसानी से हरा लो।
then you can easily win in front of the Zimbabwean team. So
सेकंड
the second
अनुशासन,
discipline is to
उत्साह जगाओ,
unconditionally
प्रेम
keep
का तड़का
enthusiasm
डालो
and love alive.
unconditionally। तीसरा
Now let's
अनुशासन,
talk about the third discipline.
जैसे
Just like in the
दूसरे
second
अनुशासन
discipline,
में जब जो
we
भाव
use the
जगाना
ability to
चाहो वो
invoke any
जगाने
flavor
की
at will.
सिद्धि को काम में लगाते हैं हम।
In the
वैसे
third
तीसरे
discipline, we
अनुशासन
will
में
use
तुम
the
जब
ability
त्याग
to
जो
drop
त्यागना
anything
चाहो
at
त्याग
will.
सकते हो। इस सिद्धि को भी काम में लगाना चाहिए माय डियर। मैं
It
उसको
is a 3-step
3
process.
स्टेप का प्रोसेस कहता हूँ।
The
थर्ड
third
अनुशासन,
discipline
थर्ड डिसिप्लिन
is
इज ऑब्जर्व,
observe, filter,
filter
and surrender.
and surrender।
In this
moment by
life,
moment by moment
unfolding
जो
from
जीवन जा
moment
रहा
to
है ना,
moment,
उसमें
when faced with
अलग-अलग
different
लोगों,
people, things, and
परिस्थितियों,
situations,
व्यक्तियों,
keep
वस्तुओं,
observing
परिस्थितियों
the
के
different
सामने
flavors
तुम्हारी
arising in
चेतना
your
में जो भाव
consciousness.
जग रहे हैं, तुम्हारी
Keenly
चेतना में जो
observing,
कुछ भी हो
watching
रहा
with
है,
awareness
उसको देखते रहना,
whatever
aware
is
होकर
happening in your consciousness.
निरीक्षण करते रहना,
This is
निहारते
the first
रहना, ये
step
पहला
of
स्टेप है
observation. The
दूसरा
second
स्टेप
step
है,
is
मैं
what
उसको
I call
विवेक का
applying the
लगाने
filter
के
of
लिए कहता हूँ।
discrimination.
भाई तुम्हारे अंदर
You
जो घट
observe what
रहा
is happening within you
उसको ऑब्जर्व
and
किया,
learn to apply
उसको
a filter
फिल्टर
to
अगर
it.
लगाना सीख गए कि भाई क्या
What is
रखने
worth
योग्य है
keeping and
और
what
क्या
is worth
त्यागने योग्य
dropping.
है।
Also,
मैं
your
कहता हूँ
sense of
तुम्हारा
discrimination,
विवेक, तुम्हारा
your
इंटेलिजेंस,
intelligence,
तुम्हारा
your
सयानापन,
wisdom
तुम्हारी
already
बुद्धि
knows what is worth
ऑलरेडी
keeping
जानती ही
and what
है
is not.
कि क्या रखना चाहिए और क्या नहीं। किसी
You do not really need an
external
external
help की
help
जरूरत ही
for
नहीं है
it.
तुम्हें।
You already know it
experience।
from your own experience.
मैं उसी
I am asking you to
अनुभव
use
जनित
that sense of discrimination
विवेक
which
को
is born out of your own
काम में
experiences.
लगाने के लिए
Put
कह
it to
रहा हूं
work.
यहाँ।
You
ऑब्जर्व
observe
किया,
and then you filter
फिल्टर
whether
लगाया
it is worth
कि रखने
keeping or
योग्य
not.
है कि नहीं है।
That is
तब
when
एक
a
fantastic
fantastic
मौका खुलता है
opportunity
शरीर।
opens up suddenly. For example,
मैं
if I
अगर
ask
आपको
you
पूछूं,
whether a particular flavor or
ये
tendency
भाव
is worth
रखने
keeping or
योग्य
not,
है या त्यागने योग्य है, तो तुम
you will
खुद ही अपने
answer
अनुभव से
this
बता
so
दो।
easily, isn't it?
गुस्सा
Referring to your own experiences. For example, anger,
कैसे पता?
is it worth keeping or not?
पता ही है।
How do you know? You already know.
चिंता
Anxiety, is it worth keeping or dropping?
त्यागने योग्य। कैसे पता?
How do you know that it is worth dropping? You
अपने
already know
अनुभव
it
से ही
from
पता
your
है।
experience.
प्रेम
Love, it is worth
रखने
keeping.
योग्य,
Responsibility,
उत्साह,
compassion,
जिम्मेदारी,
how do you know?
करुणा,
You
how do you
already know.
You already know. मेरा
This is
point
my
ये है,
point. Nature
नेचर
has
ने
taught this to
अपने
you through
अनुभवों से
your
ही
own
तुम्हें जो सिखाना
experiences.
है वो सिखा दिया है। इसलिए
That is
उस
why, in order
fantastic
to
experience
use
का
the synopsis of
अपने
those
जीवन में
experiences in your
इस्तेमाल कर
life,
लेने के
these
लिए
disciplines
इन
are
अनुशासनों
required.
की जरूरत पड़ती है। उसके
So,
लिए मैं
for
कहता
that, I say,
ऑब्जर्व करना
learn to
सीखे,
observe,
उसको
learn
विवेक
to
का
apply the
फिल्टर
filter
लगाना
of
सीखे, और
discrimination. And the
तीसरा
third step
जो
is
त्यागने
to
योग्य
learn to
भाव हैं
surrender or
उनको
drop
त्याग
whatever
कर
is
फ्री हो
worth
जाना
dropping
सीखें।
and be free from it.
और
And
उसके
what
लिए
needs
क्या
to be
करना
done for
चाहिए?
that?
तो मैं कहता
Take a
हूँ
breath
सांस
in,
अंदर लो,
remember
गुरु का
the
स्मरण
Guru, the
करो,
Divine,
और
and
बाहर
surrender
जाने
it
वाले श्वास
with
के
the
साथ
outgoing
समर्पण कर
breath.
देना।
This
Observe,
is the third
filter
discipline.
and
Observe,
surrender,
filter, and
ये तीसरा
surrender.
अनुशासन है। ये
Do
याद
keep
रखना,
this in mind
अगर
that a
फाइल
larger
बड़ी
file
होती
will
है
take more
तो
time to
डिलीट होने
delete.
में टाइम लगता है।
If
फोल्डर
the
बड़े
folder
हों
is large
साइज में,
in size due to
लंबे समय
accumulations
से
over a long
इकट्ठा
period
हो
of
रही है
time,
चीजें
then it
उसमें,
will take some
तो
time to
थोड़ा
be
सा
free
समय
from it.
लगेगा छूटने में, लेकिन
But you will
छूटेंगी जरूर।
definitely be
Delete
free
button
from it.
always works.
As you
जैसे
keep
जैसे
dropping the
गड़बड़ों को त्यागते
negativities,
जाओगे,
they will
उसकी
gradually
जो
keep
पकड़ है
losing their
तुम्हारे
grip
मन
on
पर,
your mind.
धीरे 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 छूटती जाएगी। ये तीसरा
So the third
अनुशासन है
discipline is
observe,
observe, filter,
filter
and surrender.
का। फिर चौथा अनुशासन,
Now the fourth discipline. Are
सबसे
you all
बड़े।
listening?
एक
On one
तरफ हम
hand, we are
बड़े सुंदर
undertaking the
भावों को
discipline of
अपने मन में
invoking very
जगाने का
beautiful
अनुशासन
flavors
कर
within
रहे
us.
हैं। दूसरी
And on the
तरफ
other hand,
गड़बड़
we are
वाले
also
भावों
taking
को
up the
त्यागने का
discipline of
अनुशासन
dropping
कर रहे हैं।
negativities.
तो
So
चौथा
now we come to the
अनुशासन ये
fourth
है कि
discipline
गड़बड़ वाले
so
भाव
that
फिर
the
एक बार
negative
इकट्ठा
flavors
ना
do not
होते रहें,
accumulate once
उसके
again.
लिए भी
And
हमें
we'll
कुछ
have to do
करना
something
पड़ेगा।
for it.
अब
If you
गौर से देखो,
observe the
जितना
amount
तुम
of social
सोशल
media you are
मीडिया देख
exposed
रहे
to
हो,
these days,
सब
all kinds
तरह
of
का
garbage
कचरा
gets bombarded
बॉम्बार्ड
on
हो
your
रहा है तुम्हारी
consciousness
consciousness
almost
में।
continuously.
अच्छा, अगर तुम अपनी
If you want
चेतना
to
को
keep your consciousness
विशुद्ध
pure
बनाए
and
रखना
pristine,
चाहते हो, तो इस
then you
गंदगी
will
के
have to save
bombardment से
yourself
तुम्हें
from this
बचना ही
bombardment
पड़ेगा।
of garbage.
It
It is almost like
एक
on one
तरफ
side
तुम
you are using a
वैक्यूम
vacuum
क्लीनर
cleaner
लगा के
to take
बैठे
the
हो, जो
dirt
भी
out,
कचरा आता जाएगा हम उंडेलते जाएंगे बाहर,
and
और
from the other
दूसरी तरफ
side you are bringing in
बाहर से
garbage from
कचरा ला
outside
ला
into
के
your
अपने
own
ही घर में
house.
डाल रहे हो। ये
Your
चेतना तुम्हारा
consciousness
घर
is
है
your
भाई।
home.
This
This
is
is
where
where
you
you
live।
live. Out
लोग
of
अपने
lack of
अपने जीवन
awareness,
में करने वाले व्यभिचार
people are
बेभान
exhibiting
होकर
and displaying their
सोशल मीडिया पर
indulgences on
डाल रहे
social
हैं,
media.
और उतनी
And
ही बेभान
really, with a
अवस्था
similar
में
lack of awareness, the blind
बेवकूफ
and the
लोग,
foolish
अंधे
are
उसको अपनी
gathering it
चेतना में
in
भर
their
रहे
own
हैं।
consciousness. Are
सुन
you
रहे हो?
listening to me?
और क्या
And
पा
what are
रहे
they
हैं?
getting in return?
लाइक्स पा
Likes
रहे हैं,
and thumbs up.
थम्स अप पा रहे हैं। उसी थम्स अप को अगर तुम
My
एक्चुअली
dears,
देखोगे
that
ना,
thumbs up
ठेंगा
is
मिल रहा है
worth
तुम्हें।
nothing.
किसी को तुम
What
अपने
tendency
ही
will you
शरीर
trigger
का
in
प्रदर्शन
someone by
करके
exposing your own body?
क्या जगाओगे? भाई अलग
This is
लोगों
the
का
work
काम
of
है
a
वो,
different class of people.
उनको
Let
करने
them do
दो।
it.
मैं
I don't
ज़्यादा
want
डिटेल
to
में
go
नहीं जा
into
रहा हूँ।
too many details here.
कोई अतिशय
Someone is exposing their
अभाव
body
से,
out of extreme
smallness
smallness
से
and lack.
पीड़ित, अपना प्रदर्शन करे
And
और
you
उस
are
प्रदर्शन
finding
में तुम्हें
pleasure
रस
in
आए।
it.
ओ माय गॉड, सुन रहे हो क्या मेरी?
Are you listening to what I am saying? Later
आगे
on,
हम
we will
उसकी चर्चा
discuss
करने ही
which are the
वाले हैं।
harmful tendencies
क्या
that are worth
त्यागने
dropping.
योग्य है भाई?
But
नुकसान
broadly,
वाली
these
वृत्तियां
are
कौन सी हैं?
lust,
तो देखोगे
anger,
काम, क्रोध,
greed,
लोभ, मोह, मद,
attachment,
मत्सर।
ego, and jealousy.
आप अगर
Observe
गौर से
carefully
देखो इस
whether it be
Netflix
Netflix
से
or
लेके
Prime Videos or
Prime
it be
Videos
some
से
social
लेके
media
social media से
applications
लेके
like
Facebook
Facebook
से
or
लेके
Instagram.
Instagram से लेके
What
क्या
is being
bombard हो रहा है
bombarded?
भाई? यही
Largely,
दिखेगा तुम्हें। या तो काम वासना
either
ट्रिगर
lust is
होगी,
getting triggered or
या
someone is
कोई
expressing
अपना
their
क्रोध
anger.
एक्सप्रेस कर रहा है,
Either
या
someone
लोभों
is
से
caught in the
पीड़ित
game of
खेल चल
greed
रहे हैं,
or the mind is
या
caught
यहाँ
like
मन
a
दे
fool
दिया,
in
वहाँ दिल दे
attachment,
दिया, मोह
in
मोह
infatuation and
मोहांधता ही,
attractions.
बेवकूफों की तरह ईगो के अलग
The
अलग
different
फ्लेवर्स
flavors of ego are getting
बेभान अवस्था
exhibited
में एग्जीबिशन हो रहा है, या
or jealousy is
ट्रिगर करने
getting
वाली
triggered
चीजें हो रही,
in
मत्सर
absolute
हो रहा है।
unawareness.
ऐसे
Now,
इस
why should we
राक्षसों
take
के खेल
interest
में
in
हमें
such
क्यों रस
demonic
लेना
games?
चाहिए भाई? मैं
And
कहता हूँ,
someone walking on the
धर्म पर
path of
आया हुआ
Dharma
व्यक्ति
should follow
ये
this
चौथा
fourth discipline
अनुशासन
to save
करे
their mind
तो
from this
अपने
game
मन
of
को
Maya.
बचा के रख सकता है इस माया के खेल से। सुन रहे हो क्या मेरी
Are
बात?
you listening to me?
इसलिए मैं चौथा अनुशासन कह
Hence,
रहा
I am
हूँ,
giving the fourth
save your mind
discipline.
from social media।
Save your mind from social
जितना
media.
जरूरी
You
है
can spend 10
न्यूज़
15
के साथ
minutes on
अपडेटेड
Twitter,
रहने के
you know,
लिए,
just to stay
तो
updated with
ट्विटर में
local,
देख लिया 10 12
national,
15 मिनट
international news.
दिन का
That much is
इनफ है।
enough.
जो भी वर्ल्ड न्यूज़ है, नेशनल न्यूज़ है, लोकल न्यूज़ है, समझ में आ ही जाएगा। उसके लिए जरूरी है चलो भाई 10-15
10
मिनट
15
का
minutes are enough.
उतना समय दे दिया जाए उसको, जितना वो
But
वोयरिज्म
we
से
have to save ourselves from the use
भोग
of social
से
media for
पीड़ित
voyeurism
होकर
and sensory indulgences.
सोशल मीडिया
We
का
cannot give our mind to
इस्तेमाल हो
this.
रहा है, उससे बचना चाहिए। ये
This
चौथा
is the fourth
अनुशासन है।
discipline.
मैं फिर से एक बार लिस्ट दे
Recapping the
दूं।
list of
पहला
disciplines.
अनुशासन
First one
स्टूडेंट का
is
कैप
keep your
ऑन रखना।
student cap on. And the
उसके लिए
formula for
श्रवण
a
मनन
student is
निधिध्यास कहते
Shravan
हैं।
Manan Nididhyas. The
दूसरा
second
अनुशासन
discipline is keep
प्रेम
enthusiasm
जगाते रहना,
and love alive.
उत्साह का तड़का
When you
डालते
live
रहना,
with love and
प्रेम उत्साह
enthusiasm,
से जीवन
life
जीते
becomes
रहना,
abundantly
समृद्ध
beautiful.
होते जाता है जीवन। तीसरा
The third
अनुशासन
discipline is observe, filter, and
जो
surrender.
त्यागने योग्य चीज है उसको
We are
त्यागने
eager to
के
drop
लिए
whatever
हम
is worth
तत्पर हैं।
dropping. We are not
सिर्फ
just
ready
ready
हैं
for
ऐसा
it.
नहीं,
We are
हम
eager. We
तत्पर
are
हैं।
waiting.
We are
When
waiting
some
कि
negativity
गड़बड़ आई,
arises,
हम भाव नहीं देंगे।
we will not entertain it.
सुन
Are you
रहे हो
listening
मेरी
to me? And the
चौथा
fourth
अनुशासन,
discipline is to
वापस
avoid
गड़बड़ी
social
इकट्ठा ना
media
हो,
to avoid
उसके लिए social
reaccumulation
media
of
से
these
बचे रहें।
negativities. We
जो
will filter
सचमुच
whatever
जरूरी
we
है
allow to
वो
enter the
फिल्टर लगा के ही
temple
हम
of our
उस
mind.
मंदिर में उसको स्थान देंगे। सुन
Are
रहे
you
हो मेरी
listening to
बात?
what I am
ऐसा
saying?
समझ लीजिए तुम्हारी
Understand
चेतना
your
तुम्हारा
consciousness to
मंदिर
be
है,
your temple
जहाँ
where
गुरुदेव
Gurudev is
रहते,
residing, where Shiv is
शिव रहते,
residing. How
वहाँ
can you
कचरा
allow
कैसे हो
garbage
सकता है
there?
भाई? और
And
उसके
for
लिए
that, we
चौथा
will
अनुशासन।
have to take this discipline.
फिर पांचवा अनुशासन
And
मैं
then
कहता
the
हूँ,
fifth discipline
किसी
is
भी कीमत पर हम
we
अपनी
will not
साधना
miss our
करेंगे
sadhana,
नहीं।
come what may.
इसके बारे
I'm
में
not
ज्यादा
going
डिटेल में
into
बात
too
नहीं
many
कर रहा
details
हूँ।
right now.
ये
Let's
ऐसा
decide
समझ
this.
लीजिए ये
This
must
is
है।
must. We will
जब
have
तक साधना
breakfast
पूरी नहीं
only and
होती,
only
तब
after
तक हम
completing our
breakfast नहीं
sadhana.
खाएंगे। प्रॉमिस कर
You all need to promise this.
परफेक्ट गॉट इट।
I will discuss this in depth later on
बार हो चुकी
whenever
है,
we get a
मैं आगे भी
chance.
मौका मिलने पर करूंगा।
It is said that a mind which has become still as a result of sadhana
तो
retains
उसमें
the sankalpas,
ब्रह्म
the
प्राप्ति
commitments
का
required
विचार
for attaining
और
the
उसके
highest.
संकल्प टिकते हैं।
The
साधना से
happy,
खाली और
empty
प्रसन्न
mind
हुआ हुआ मन
and higher level of energy resulting from sadhana
and higher level of energy
become pillars for dharma in your life. Hence sadhana is required. Is this clear? So sadhana is a must. This is the fifth discipline. Then the sixth discipline is what I call swadhyay, meaning self-exploration. We will discuss this in detail later on, but it's your effort to identify, explore your own self and your own role in your own life. It's the effort to play your own role properly in your life. I will explain the game of swadhyay later on, which will be the sixth discipline. You can implement this discipline once I explain it. And the seventh discipline is that every day some seva should happen through us. I will explain this also in detail, but we start observing the 7 disciplines from today itself. Why seva? We will discuss it later, but we are starting seva from today. A simple definition of seva is someone's upliftment should happen by your actions on a regular basis. Someone's upliftment or blossoming through your actions is what seva is. And the merit you gain through such actions, that will open doors for your blossoming and evolution. And hence we include it in our list of disciplines.
Everybody clear?
Let's revisit the list of these 7 disciplines. Number 1, to be a student. Number 2, keep invoking love and enthusiasm on a regular basis. Let's make it a habit. Number 3, observe, filter and surrender. We'll not entertain any unpleasant flavors in our consciousness and we'll keep dropping them. This is our commitment. Fourth discipline is we will not allow the bombardment of negativity through social media. Fifth discipline, we will not miss our sadhana come what may. The sixth discipline is we will make swadhyay a basis of our life. I will explain this in detail later on so you can understand it clearly. And the seventh discipline is that of seva, which means on a regular basis we should become instruments for someone's upliftment so that they blossom in Sat, Chit and Anand.
उसके लिए साधन बनते रहने का निश्चय ये सेवा का निश्चय है.
With these 7 disciplines, we begin this journey of Dharma.
शुरू कर रहे हैं. Lots and lots and lots of love to everyone.